Hey guys, it is Jessica. So you do get to see me. All right, so we're going to change that. The program I'm using, just FYI, is called Screencastify, and it's great because you can do it 3 different ways, like I did before, where it was just my pretty face, or you can do where you have the computer along with, obviously, down here in the bottom, or you can actually move this wherever you want, or you can just see where you would hear someone's voice, and that's actually what we're going to do. All right, so to do a Google Doc, you can do a couple of different ways. You can type it in to, obviously, you need to have a Google account. And so that's very important. I'm actually going to switch over. This is my various things. To switch over to my school account just because that's easier for me. What you're going to do is you can do one of 2 ways. You can type it in as Google Doc, and it's going to come where you can just hit the Google Doc, or if it's easier for you, if you look right to the either left or right, depending on how you're looking at it, of your picture, there's going to be all your different suite of things. Now, depending on if this is personal or school, it will depend on what you have in there. So we're going to look at my school one. We are going to start off with docs. So like I said, there's a couple of different ways. I prefer to just use the lovely dots up here. Okay, so you can also go through Google Drive and start a document that way, but we'll get there in just a minute. We are going to start a new doc. So where it says blank, there are several different templates. So if you are going to do a meeting or anything, this might be a good option for you. But for today, we're just going to do a blank. So you click on blank, and there are several different things for you to see. You can do different things, obviously. You can share it. Anytime that you have a document, you do want to create a title for it. So this is going to be example 1. On it, we have your basic file, edit, view, insert, format, tools, add-ons, and help. Add-ons are going to be anything that may help you, such as diagrams. When we get to the slides, we'll talk a little more about some add-ons, but we just want to do the basics right now. So if you look at your file, you can do several different things. You can make a copy of this to share. You can email it as an attachment. What I really like about Google Docs is you can make it into a PDF. So say you are going to do your welcome to the classroom file, welcome to the classroom letter for your kids. You could actually make it a PDF. So when you would share it with everybody, they can't change it. We'll talk about that in just a minute as well. You can also do it as a Microsoft Word, which if I click on the Microsoft Word, it's going to download and it's going to go to Docs.ck. And this is only if you're on a Google Chromebook or if you're using Google Chrome. This is going to give me a Google or a Microsoft Word doc. If you go back to a file, you can save it. It will transfer back to a Google Doc. The big thing about it is be careful on how maybe your formatting may be a little different depending on what you're doing. Okay, so let's move on past that. We've talked about how it can transfer back and forth between Microsoft. You'll go to File. So we've done emails, attachment, download. This is really cool, version history, and this is great for your students. So say that you have created something, blah, 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 and then you decided to, for some reason, make this bold, but you don't want that. What you can do is you go to File, you go to Version History, and you can click on it and see the version history, and it's going to go right here. It's going to tell you the exact time. This is great because if a student's going to be like, so-and-so erased my thing, you can kind of go back and check out their version history and help and figure out who did it. So that's definitely one cool perk of it. Another thing to do, as you can see, it's always saving. It's going to save to, you can move it to a file. You can start, which means it'll make it important, or this is just the document status. All right, so you can rename it, you can publish it to the web, you can change your language and page setup. The edit, pretty basic edit, view, this is just going to kind of show you how you're looking at it. Insert, This is important because this is if you ever decide to make hyperdocs or any of that material, this would be something good to know. So an image, you can either upload from the computer, search the web, or you can do a drive, photo, URL, or camera. Table, basic for your charts. A drawing, this is if you did Google Draw, and that's a whole nother training, but it's pretty cool. Chart, if you however you want to do it, or you can import it from Sheets, and we'll talk about that. Do a horizontal line, a footnote, which is something that you may be doing as you're going in through school. You just type it on here and it's going to show up on every single page, which is cool. Very similar to the same thing as you were doing a heading. Footnotes, are important, so definitely check those out. All right, guys, so if you would like to insert, we'll get to that in just a second. Format, this is if you've got to do line spacing, columns, headers, footers, page numbers, and different style text, which you can also have up here. Add-ons, this is going to be anything that you want to have extra. So, charts, any of that good stuff. And then help, so if you have any type of questions, you can go to the help button. I will show you over here. This is the view history, so everyone who's been able to see it. This is open comment history, notifications, and I'll show you that in just a second. You want to share this with people. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can share it through people in group, and you can also make them either editors or viewers or commenters. So if it's an editors, they can change permission and they can share things. If it's a viewer, then they really can't do anything. But if it's a commenter, they can, as long as it's a viewer, they can download, print, and copy. A commenter can actually make a comment. So how you do that, if I'm going to change it to do the get link, if I want to change it, so I would do anyone with this link. Updating, I could do viewer, commenter, or editor. That's completely up to you. If you were to do this with a group of students, it might best be to do an editor so everybody can participate. And I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But if you are going to insert a comment, all right, so what I did was I went ahead and just typed out a few letters. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go to open comment history. I'm going to hit the plus comment. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow me to pop up. And so if I was just going to say, this needs to be rewritten, this would be great if you are having the kids peer tutor or peer edit on each other. You could hit comment and it's going to come up and the students will know it's for this. They can also respond to you. Or you can, if you wanted to provide them a link, maybe to a YouTube video on how to do capitalization better or a fun song, you could do it here as well. If you wanted to delete it, you just hit delete, hit yes, delete a comment. You can have someone comment back to you, so that's very cool. If we are talking about inserting different things, so an image, like we talked about, you either upload it from the computer, drive, photos, URL, or camera. If you wanted to do a hyperlink, so say you want to come up with a hyperdoc, which is a really cool tool, you wanted to have a vocabulary or, just even a YouTube video. Say there was a great song on the radio about rainbows. Instead of saying, here's the link, all you would do is highlight, go to link. You could do text rainbow or search and do rainbow song. And it's going to pull up different things. Now, if you know you're specific, like maybe YouTube or any of that kind of thing, you could actually do it. All right, so I'm changing the sentence. We're going to talk about what is text structure. Now, I can definitely change, make it bold, italicize, underline, change my color. I can insert any of that kind of thing and change the normal text, my font size. But if I was to do text structure, and if you want to just go back, you see how I hit the little arrow. do a hyperlink if it'll work with me. I'm going to do, here's my link. And what I did was I found a vocabulary video off of YouTube about text structure. And so what my students would be able to do is once they see that, say I decided to save this as a PDF, I'm going to download it as a PDF. So as my computer is downloading, it's very easy to use. It does have, spell check. Also has sometimes grammar check if you need that. But here is going to be my PDF, and if I go to click it, it's going to come up. Here's my YouTube of text structure.
Much like building.
So there are several different things that you can do. If you wanted to check your word count, you would go to Tools and you could do word count. Now, if you want to do review suggested edits, you can make this where people can only comment and then you can check their suggestions and it would appear over here. So pretty easy. If you're going to insert a picture, we would go to image. You could do search the web and it's going to pop up to your right. And so I'm just going to say cloud. Now make sure, and I would just carry and drag it over. This is also very similar to how a Bitmoji would work. As you can see up to my right, I have a Bitmoji Chrome extension, and a Chrome extension is just a part of the store, and you can sign up for Bitmoji. But it's just kind of fun because you can book cloud, and it's going to come up with one, and then you would just drag it. Bitmojis are just kind of fun. I'm not really sure about doing Bitmoji classrooms. I know they are kind of fun as well, but just sometimes it's neat to have them in your PowerPoints or your Google Slides. There's a lot of things that you can do in Google Docs, and it's always a good idea to share. If you're going to share with others, make sure that they are able to comment and be editors as well, because then if you were to work in a classroom together, everybody can have their own different color and you can see who does what. This is just a simple, basic tutorial of everything on Google Docs. I hope it helped. Now what you're going to do is I would like for you to just try out the different features. See if you can add a hyperlink, maybe a video. Oh, if you wanted to insert a video, that is one thing to do. Also, I forgot to tell you guys about this. If you just want to insert a link, you can go to link and type your text of what it's going to be and then put in the word like the text structure like we just talked about. All right, guys, so what you're going to do is I am going to have you work on your own and have you work for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes, just trying and see what you can do. See if you can share it and add and comment and all that good stuff. I hope you guys will enjoy using Google Docs. Thanks.